Thank you for staying with us. You are watching KTN Business Today with me, Abi Agina. And here in studio, I'm still having the Governor for Kilifi County, Amason Kingi. And on the other side of KICC, we have Abubakar Abdullahi, who is also covering for us the Blue Economic Conference, and he'll be joining us shortly to just give us some more updates on what are the people saying on the ground. Are there any deals that Kenya has struck so far with Japan and Canada, who are some of the co-hosts of this particular conference? We'll be getting back to Abubakar in a short while. Well, let's bring you back into a discussion with Amason Kingi. And Governor, just after the break, we mentioned that we'll be getting more details, that you're planning to do a fish port. Just walk us through this particular project and how big an impact will it leave for the people of Kilifi?
We have two main projects that are port-oriented. One, we have a cargo and logistics port project that we intend to have it constructed in Takaungu, town of Kilifi County. And the other one is a fish port dedicated to fishing and fishery that is supposed to be built in Gomeni, just north of Malindi, at a cost of about lowest maybe 25 billion. So these are some of the bankable projects that we have brought to this conference. We're in the market looking for investors, certainly. Yeah.
All right. And for instance, if this project is to get financing, talk to us about the timelines you have and, of course, the impact it will leave for the people of Kilifi.
On the timeline to completion, maybe that will depend very much on the kind of contractors and subcontractors maybe the investors will have. But I can only talk on the impact. A fish port at the coast will have huge impact, not just for Kilifi people, but the entire region.
Sure.
Because one, the ocean has been a forgotten frontier in as far as contribution to the GDP and the growth of the economy of this country is concerned. Many people may think that because the coast region has the ocean with it, then we may be exporting a lot of fish out of this country. But if you look at our statistics, you'll find that 96% of the fish that is exported out of Kenya to the outside world is actually from inland water bodies. The ocean contributes paltry 4%.
Wow.
And therefore, it's a forgotten frontier. And we believe this blue economy is a wake-up call, is an eye-opener. And from this, then the kind of commitments. And I'm happy because His Excellency has given us very good pledges and commitments. And I believe as a country, if we can be able to implement and follow through those commitments and pledges, then we can as a country begin to reap most out of the blue economy.
All right. And Governor, those are very startling statistics. And of course, over and above only 4% coming in from the waters within, there's also the big challenge of unsustainable fishing, which some say is overfishing by the big vessels. Is this a main challenge for your county?
Well, across the region, the people who engage in fishing, actually artisanal fishers, you know, those who go to very shallow waters, we don't have the capacity for fishermen to go deeper. And therefore, we have actually given out our EEZ to the so-called IUUs, illegal, unregulated and unreported fishing vessels.
Yeah.
Quite a number of huge vessels actually ply our waters and go away with tons and tons of wealth from this country. As a country, then, we need to turn around that. These big vessels actually ought to belong to a fisherman. And the reason why we've not fully utilized and realized the potential of the ocean is one, we did not have a dedicated monitoring and surveillance system. But today, we have that system in Liwatoni. And just a week ago, His Excellency inaugurated the Coast Guard, one of its kind, dedicated to bringing security within our EEZ. And I believe this will go a long way to ensure then our marine resources are well protected and taken care of, so that the Kenyan fishermen will be given that priority. You will notice also that as a country we are signatories to the port state measures. It's an agreement that was signed through FAO in 2009, all the way to 2016.
Sure.
But although as a country we are signatories to that particular agreement, we have hardly enforced it to the extent that any big vessel that is coming to the Kenyan waters and does fishing is supposed to ask for permission from the Kenyan authority. It must dock and declare the catch that is it has gotten from our waters, and then through that there's a payment that is supposed to go to Kenya.
Sure.
But because we don't have the capacity to do surveillance and monitoring of our EEZ, many vessels will come and basically leave with tonnage of our marine resources. And I believe through the kind of commitments that the president has given to the world, I believe we are going to turn around that.
All right. Interesting insights there, Governor. Many thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Well, we've been speaking there to Amason Kingi, the governor of Kilifi County, who is also taking part in this Blue Economy Conference. And right now, we want to take you live to KICC, where my colleague Abubakar Abdullah is standing by. And Abubakar, if you can hear me, what is the latest from that end? Do we already have any deals signed between Kenya and the countries that are taking part?
Well, Abi, more than 70 countries represented with 17,000, if not more, delegates present. The world literally today converging here at the country's most popular convention center, of course, KICC. We had presentations from different African presidents earlier on. President Uhuru Kenyatta, the host president, of course, gave his speech. The Somali's President Mohamed Farmajo also spoke about the issue of safety in seas. Of course, we also had Uganda's President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. But as of now, we understand that the deals are yet to be signed, but they'll be signed a little bit later. Rather, the statements that have been made are of commitment. Each president was talking of how to safeguard the blue economy in their own individual countries. Now, to talk matters, of course, and make sense of the economic aspect of the blue economy, I'm joined by the National Vice Chairman, James Mureu, of the National Chamber of Commerce and Industries. Gentlemen, many thanks for making time for us. Kenya is co-hosting this conference alongside Japan and Canada. These are arguably global leading economies. Does that give Kenya some form of mileage in as far as the business environment and even blue economy is concerned?
Yes, thank you very much. First of all, let me say this is a historic day for Kenya, because like you've rightly said, this is the first major blue economy conference being held anywhere in the continent. And for us, we take pride in being the first. And the first pioneers always have the benefits of getting there first. Now, a lot of good presentations are going on in about 24 different meeting rooms within the conference, and I want to correct, the number of countries represented is 180.
I say it's slightly more than.
Yeah, it's 180 is way above 70. So, and there's about 17,000 delegates in Nairobi. And if you look at just that alone, the fact that we have that many delegates means all our hotels are full. Everybody is coming to Kenya. Some people who have never been to Kenya will take up holidays in future because of what we're presenting. So as a business community, we are excited about that. Now, when you talk about the green economy, the blue economy, let's look at the green economy. It's exhausted now. That's the land that we have used, the trees that we've cut and all this. And that is part of an economic activity that has hurt this country as far as the green economy is concerned. But hardly has anyone used the blue economy. Now, the blue economy, there are countries that are totally and completely dependent on blue economy. I'll give you an example of Singapore. Singapore virtually imports everything and just depends on its port for every other resource. That's their only resource.
Fair enough. And does Kenya stand a chance to learn from these countries?
I can tell you, those who are here are not wasting their time. The presentations are detailed and they are good. But sadly, I'll tell you, the youth are missing. I've looked at the demographics of people who are attending here. And tomorrow the youth will come out and say they have been left out. They must be where it's happening. It's right now here in Kenya at the KICC. And I would urge them tomorrow to come here in numbers. It's free entry. They need to be here just to come and register and come and hear. Because those people who get to hear these presentations are definitely going to look at the sea very differently. If you look at Lake Victoria, it's a big water resource. Look at Lake Turkana, it's a big water resource. But we only complain and say you can go there and swim, and that's about all we do in the waters.
Thank you for making that, of course, point to us. We understand we are out of time. That's where we'll have to end it. Abby, of course, the challenge as of now, and alluding to the point that the Vice Chairman also made, is that of the youth. I was able as well to look at the people who are at this conference. Many are above 35, which is out of the age bracket. And as far as youth is concerned, it's very hot here, but the conversations so much as well are hot. But the areas of course, interest are very cold in as far as the waters and the water bodies are concerned. Back to you, Abby, in the studio.
Well, many thanks, Abubakar Abdullahi, for that update from KICC. Of course, a challenge to all the participating entities to